Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and in this video what I want to do is show you how to create a portfolio website using, well, in this first initial build we're going to use Excel, not Excel, Google Sheets. We're going to use jQuery, we're going to use ShoeLace, and web components. So we're going to be using all sorts of really cool fancy front end stuff. To show you sort of this way of building. This is targeted towards people who are sort of early on in their web development. So you basically probably haven't learned React yet. You probably haven't learned Vue or Angular yet. So we're not going to use one of those fancy front ends. And hopefully you've spent some time learning jQuery or some plain vanilla JavaScript DOM manipulation, because we'll be using those. But yeah, let's do it. So this first video we're going to do is actually build the way we're going to hold our portfolio data. Because the goal here is, instead of having to edit our website every time we have a new project that we've done in our portfolio, we just want to put it in an Excel spreadsheet, put the data about our project, and yeah, so then that will be, we just pull the data from here. So basically we add it to the spreadsheet, our website will automatically update, because when you visit the website, it always pulls the data and builds itself. Okay, that's going to be sort of the goal here. So basically we just create a sheet, so we'll just call this mock portfolio. Doesn't really matter what you call it. And I'm just going to put some fields here. We're going to put the name of the project. I'm going to just keep this really simple. Let's just say a link to Git. And actually I'm going to do these in lowercase, so that we don't have to worry about typing things in uppercase and lowercase later. Name Git, and then the live link to the live project. So I'm going to head over to my actual portfolio website, alexmercedcoder.com. Pull some of my projects from there. So over here should be my projects. Okay, first we'll have dev nursery, copy link. So that's the app link, so that's going to be here. And then this project will be dev nursery. And then I'm going to copy the git link. There we go, copy link address. Okay, then we'll do the next one, which is I think Savvy Hotspots. Which is these are actually both done in React. This one's done in Angular. Copy link address. Savvy hotspots. Okay. And then I think I forget which one I copied. Oh, I copied the live link, so I put the live link over here. Let me go get the Git link. And the idea, this is what you want in your portfolio in general. You want people to be able to find your projects and not just be able to see like the actual app in practice. Like, say you can go to my website dev nursery and go play with it, but you can also click on Git and actually go find like the code and like learn about my project and things that I did and see my code, whatnot. Because again, the idea behind a portfolio website is that this is your calling card, so you want people to be able to see what you can do. Okay, I mean, you could add more, like I have a picture. I guess I will add the picture too. So we'll create a thing called image. Just because you're probably going to want to add pictures. So copy. I'm going to copy the image address. Okay. So there's the image address. Same thing for Savvy Hotspots. Copy image address, and I'll just do the last one, that third one, and that'll be enough. We don't need every project. Okay, and then it's BetterBox D, which is like a movie site. So app dot copy the app link. So BetterBox D. That was the app link. Then we want the Git link, copy link address. And then we want the picture. So I'll copy this, copy image address. Okay, and you can see that these are just links to like Imgur. So you can just upload your images to Imgur or Cloudinary or some sort of like place where you can upload images. Okay, so there we go. That's it. Now I have my data ready. Now what I want to do is get it where this data is available for me to pull into my website. So to do that, the first step is we need to click on Publish to the Web. Okay, so we're going to say entire document as a web page. Yep, that works for me. So if we hit Publish, you sure you want to publish the selection? And it gives you this URL. I mean, this would technically, if I were to actually go to this URL, it just takes me to a web page where the data is visible. That's not really what I care about. But by doing this, it generates another page that we do want to get to. Okay, just want to make sure that's public. So let's see here, automatically republish. Okay, that looks all good. Okay, and what does matter is that we're going to want to, there's a bunch of these different URLs so we can access the data as JSON. So this is like the template URL. Okay, so if you want, you can pause this video now and copy this. I'll try to put this in the video description. But essentially what I need to do is replace these variables here. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. This number right here, so see right after the D, this is my sheet ID number. So I'm going to copy that. So I put that right where it says sheet ID in the URL. And then I want sheet number. So this is like the first sheet. So I think it's going to be 1 or 0. We'll play it by ear. So first we'll put, sorry for all the sirens. I live in Brooklyn and there's always sirens. So we'll put 1. So let's try this out. I hit enter. And see, I get JSON data. Let me just make sure this is the right one. Do I see my data here? Okay, and basically this is what's referred to as JSON data. So what you can do here, I'm using JSON Viewer. It's a Chrome extension, so that way this looks nicer. Like if you don't have a JSON Viewer, there's a whole bunch of different extensions to see the JSON like more pretty. If you don't, you're gonna see something like this. Okay, which is a little bit less useful. Okay, so I definitely recommend downloading it. This looks like this is what we want, but basically and whenever you pull data from an API, so this is just one example of JSON data we can pull from the internet. Okay, you want to examine it and just kind of understand like how it works. So you can use these little arrows to kind of see what the different properties are. So this is the main object, and in this object there's a property called feed. Inside feed there is, let's see what's inside of here. Updated ID. Oh, I think I'm doing the opposite of what I want to do. Let's see, let's close this again. Okay, let's open up category. I think is what I want to open up, or actually this last one. Yeah, that's category. And inside category, title, link, author. Here we go. Entry. Entry is what we want. This gives us the array. So notice how this is an array. See the square brackets. So see, it's all about like exploring. So essentially, to get to the data, it's feed. Is it category? Nope. Feed. Entry, and then here's the array of our data. And then each object, okay, you see like the property, okay, is the name of the property. And then inside that is another object with a property called T, which is kind of annoying by using Google Sheets, but we'll transform the data later. Okay, but this is essentially the data. Okay. Let me just make sure that that's exactly right. So we close entry. Here's the first object. And see, these are our custom properties. So these are the properties we're going to want to access. So this is the first one. So the first one should be dev nursery. So if I look in there, yep, dev nursery, GSX name. So essentially this property technically would be feed entry, and this is an array. So the first entry in array is 0. So just to show you in JavaScript how this would look like. So let's say we have this data, this object, this big giant JSON object saved in a variable called data. It'd be data.feed.entry.0. So that's the first object in the array. And then I want to access the name in that first entry. So that's GSX name. So it'd be .gsx $name. And then inside that name object, there's another property called T, and that has the name. $T. Like this is a little bit, you know, that's not the prettiest way to access data. So we're going to definitely want to clean that up to make that look a little bit prettier, because having to type that out every time you want to access any little piece is, well, that's going to be torture. But basically we know we can grab the data. Okay. So what you're going to want to do, let me just refresh this page. You're going to want to save this URL here. okay? Because we're going to need that later. That's going to be the URL we use to grab the data. So I'm going to copy and paste that. Put that in my little notes so I have it for later. Actually, I'll do one right over here. So I have a little sticky note right over here. Save the data there. Okay, so that's saved there for later. Cool. So that's going to this first video. So this first video, your goal should be that you have any projects. And again, you may not have these particular variables live yet. You may not have something that you've deployed. You may not have Git repositories for your projects, but still use these properties and add more if you want. So that way you can fill them in as you build stuff. So cool. I'm going to stop this video and I'll see you guys in the next one. And the next one we'll do is we'll start building out our portfolio page. Then later on, we'll come back and grab all this data.